Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another edition of Unger the Radar. And with me again is co-host and videographer Erica A.
Hey Randy, glad to be back, and I'm over here on this side so I don't become a guy sandwich, because that would be a little weird with our first movie coming up.
I appreciate it.
We don't want to forget.
Film critic Chris Clemente, welcome back, sir.
Thank you for having me again.
So guys, we're going to be reviewing two films today. The first one is called Friends, Effing, Friends, Effing, Friends. Weird title, I know. It's about a young gentleman who has relationships with his friends. They have sex, they're friends, and they have sex again. Here is a trailer, or rather a clip.
If you knew he cheated, then why are you still with him?
I don't know. Because it's like you said, I mean, it's impossible to meet somebody. You gotta get used to their eating habits and their sleeping habits, and really the whole thing's just a huge pain in the ass.
So laziness.
Basically.
You see, it's philosophies like that that make me not want to be in a long-term relationship.
No, that's you not wanting to grow up, which is tied into your fear of intimacy and commitment.
Well, let's not forget my fear of death.
Which I completely understand.
I just don't think people are meant to be in long-term relationships.
You honestly don't think that there's any deeper meaning or value to be gained from being in a long-term commitment? Really?
Maybe, for some. But I mean, how can you gain deeper meaning when you suspect that your partner is cheating on you?
I'm so confused.
Just talk to Steve. I'm sure whatever's going on can be explained or dealt with.
And that is Friends, Effing, Friends, Effing, Friends. Erica, what did you think?
Oh, I thought it was sort of dreadful. I thought it might appeal more to a guy audience than as the girl here, the female. I felt that it just didn't appeal to me. It was like some horrible, sick guy fantasy about girls throwing themselves at the guys because this is what all they think about, measuring their parts and who's better than who, and let's all have sex.
Okay.
Is that the case, Randy?
I don't think so. Not all the time.
I don't know. So Chris, what did you think?
Well, I can contest it. It wasn't for me. I thought it was absolutely horrible, unrelatable. So you're not alone in that respect.
So it was a mutual gender thing.
Yeah. It was just what it boils down to is that it was poorly executed, poor performances. Really, there was no relatability at all. So
yeah, the acting was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you on that one. But I did think it was a cute romantic comedy with an interesting story. I just thought, if the actors were a little more talented, it could have won me over a little bit more.
Yeah, it did remind me a little bit of Clerks as far as humor goes. It's crass.
Well, not nearly as good, though.
But it was missing so much. I mean, it was no Count of Monte Cristo. It was no guy stealing the other guy's girl. It was just weak.
Well, I do commend writer-director Quincy Rose for putting together a really nice independent film production. It did seem as though it could have been shot on an iPhone, and that's probably what he did.
Well, no, I would say it was shot maybe on a tablet.
Yeah.
It definitely
It
had a
was low
wider
budget.
range and a better lens on it.
Yeah.
But it could have been shot better.
And the editing, in my opinion, wasn't that great.
And to some credit, it had a great premise.
Yeah.
And what it was great at was that ending. It had a great, conflicting, very climactic ending.
So you were a fan of the ending?
I was.
Yeah.
But, the whole lead-up made it feel like a punchline, a very crass, blunt punchline. And I believe that the lead-up was not worth it.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. That's Friends, Effing, Friends, Effing, Friends. Again, hate that title. But it is a fun little romantic comedy, and if you want to check it out, please feel free. So, guys, the next movie we're going to be talking about is a little bigger budget, more on the radar. It is
Definitely on the radar. Everyone knows it.
It is the new installment in the Da Vinci Code franchise. It is called Inferno. Here is a clip.
Was I given an injection
When?
at the hospital with hypodermic?
No, you were intubated. Anything you got came through the IV.
Not at the hospital. I was fully dressed. I was in the back of some car at some point in the last 2 days. And something was injected into my bloodstream, and now I'm showing signs of an illness. What if
What if what?
if I'm the carrier.
And,
All right,
and we're back.
And we're back, guys. That is Inferno, now out in theaters, starring Tom Hanks and Felicity Jones and Ben Foster. Tom Hanks is running across Europe in this film once again with Felicity Jones in search, trying to actually thwart the plot of an evil genius. Erica, what did you think?
I mean, I thought it was a good movie. It's a franchise. It's a trilogy. You have Tom Hanks back in his same old role. You have the girl. You have the guy who's the villain, who I thought was the best part. I really loved him.
Needed more of him, though.
Yes.
Ben
Well,
Foster.
because you know he can't be there anymore, because the movie starts out, we already know his fate. It's not like that's a big spoiler.
Yeah.
But he has a great role, and you don't know what's happening. My only regret is I think it was too much like all the other movies. I mean, the plot itself screamed out, I'm just Mission Impossible 1 and Mission Impossible 2 combined.
All right, Mr. Clemente, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a well-deserved movie. I think it's a likable movie, but it's something that I'm not particularly in love with. I admit that I'm not too familiar with the source material, and I'm not a big fan of the franchise. But I think out of all the installments, this is probably the strongest of the three.
So definitely on the radar, go
It's
see.
Definitely
on the
on my-
radar. Yeah.
It's action-packed. It's fun. It's got a pretty good performance from Hanks and Felicity Jones.
Yes.
You know?
For me, at least, she is the saving grace of the film. She has the stronger character. Tom Hanks feels present,
Right.
but he could give or take this franchise, in my
He's
opinion.
kind of phoning this one in.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not giving too much away with Felicity Jones, but she's really meant for this movie. Her pan face kind of
But no spoilers.
no
No.
spoilers. A monotone behavior works perfectly for her character. And what makes this great, not giving away too much, is that unlike the two, this does have a lot of twists and turns that will shock you. It really will.
Yeah, and Felicity Jones is really great in it, but you don't really, you don't really get absorbed in that. You don't really appreciate her character as much as you want to.
You want to see more of her.
You do. You do. And
Really? I think that you do see a lot of her, and you really can appreciate her character from beginning to end and the turns that it takes.
Yeah. Well, they do have good chemistry too, so that
They
helps
do.
the movie too. And also, guys, this is also directed by Ron Howard, the third Da Vinci Code film, and
Well, for me, a bad takeaway of this film
Yeah.
is the score.
the score by
Hans Zimmer.
Maestro Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
But you
Cat-
do have to love that who directs it, that Ron Howard's back. But I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it was like, but
No.
Ron Zimmer doesn't.
Hans Zimmer, yeah,
Oh,
his music in this film, again, he's
Isn't
phoning
up
it
to-
in.
isn't
It's kind
up
of
to
just going.
Stuff, I know.
No, it's, and this is the guy who did Crimson Tide and The Lion King.
Well, it's very predictable. It's very trendy. He plays with a lot of synths, something that you would expect from a movie like Drive or
Yeah.
a TV show like Stranger Things. But it's not unique, and it really is
Yeah.
Zimmer phoning it in.
Yeah.
It's something that you would not expect from a Ron Howard film.
Yeah. If you want to hear more of Hans Zimmer, I would check out the first Da Vinci Code, where the final scene has some of the most beautiful music he's ever written. So guys, that about wraps it up for Under the Radar today. I want to thank videographer and co-host Erica A. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you for being on. But don't forget, if you want to see more reviews, you want to check us out online, Under the Radar, right?
Yes, it's on YouTube, so just
And
look that up.
Facebook.
And Facebook too,
Right.
and Twitter. So we're all over the place.
Yeah.
But we also want to thank Chris
Chris.
for coming
Oh,
in.
Thank you guys for having me. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Anytime. You're
Yeah.
always
Critic Chris
welcome.
Clemente.
Yes, and you can find my work at Films We Watch and the Monologue Blogger.
So guys, that does it for our edition of Under the Radar. We'll have more Legends TV after this short commercial break.